Then and now. Traveling and performing all over the world, man, the things I've seen can make an afro curl. When I last lived in London, it was all Londonium. Scotland was Scotia, Wales was Cumbria, Paris was Lutetia, Iran was Persia, but Adwa was Adwa, the heart of Ethiopia. In the Olduvai Gorge, in the city by the lake, there was a young king called Janin the Great. Yes, he was a good king, Janin the Great. There was a young pharaoh, a good friend of mine. Now he's Jesse Jackson, still a friend of mine. I knew John the Baptist when he was Elijah, a slim teenager who was young and fine. And I knew him again when he was a school friend as we stood in line. My mother Lily was known as the Lily of the Valley and was Holy Mary's pretty brown sister. She said she was proud of her son and added, "I will always love you when all is said and done." The brave African knight from Timbuktu had a beautiful wife called Ula, and yes, pretty Shayna, she looked a lot like you. A wild barbarian from the Teutoburg woods. Used to murder and steal his victims' goods. He one day murdered a Roman and a young Persian too, but was killed by a Nubian who was passing through. Today, they're all at the United Nations working for world peace, but since then, the Nubian was a pirate and the barbarian was a noble Apache called Cochise. There once lived a dinosaur near the coast of Dover. His remains are now in the History Museum, for his roving days are over. Today, he's our pet dog, and we call him Rover. The coal that was burned today was once part of a tall tree that died many million years ago. It was killed by a weed in a slow way, and at first, I didn't know also that the oil from the well was once a part of the sea creatures that lived many million years ago. Spicy grove and cinnamon trees, Africa is home to me. I remember being a young jungle boy, lying with a beautiful jungle girl in a prehistoric world. We were pledging our love under a bright blue African sky. Within the wherefore and the why, the beautiful spirit of that ancient African girl is now the same caring angel within my lovely Japanese wife, for such is life. There was a time when this busy city was a great and silent forest. And there were some who say, and there are some who swear that these changes are not all for the best. Some of the dashing and daring things I did in the past when I was young made me feel very proud and glad. But now with increased awareness and insight, when all is said and done, they make me feel sad. For I now know that they were bad. But then as now, I did mean well, as we listen to these and other stories I can tell. Traveling and performing all over the world, man, the things I've seen can make an afro curl. So now I watch my son playing ball with his little friends, and then I wondered what it was like when my grandfather also played with his friends at age 10. Now I can tell you some more, but perhaps a little later. We will then continue, and with improvement, things will get much better. Traveling and performing all over the world, man, the things I've seen can make an afro curl. To be continued.